I'm Gary, and this is Coasting with Culture, which is all about combining theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. After flying to Orlando and joining the Buzz Bars Coaster Club for Velocistumble's tailgate at Fun Spot Orlando, it's time to dive into the first day at Universal Orlando, which became a day to enjoy holiday festivities of the resort and to try out a highly anticipated screen machine. One of the advantages of staying on property was getting the shuttle bus to the parks and then being able to get early access into the park. There were many Buzz Bar members who took advantage of this perk. And as we went into the park, there seemed to be only one logical way to start the day. Our group went right over to the Jurassic Park area to try out the newest attraction of the Universal Resort, VelociCoaster. This was certainly one of the most anticipated parts of the weekend, as the ride has received a lot of praise. That anticipation really kicked into high gear while in line, especially as part of it goes right alongside the notorious Mosasaurus roll over the lagoon. Getting into the main part of the queue is where the theming really kicks in, especially as you approach the iconic sculpture. Along with this great sculpture, there are some really cool features of the queue, such as the windows where you see the train launch through with raptors chasing after it, or the room where you come face to face with one of the predators. While the queue is really well done, it's the ride that everyone goes through that line for.
We're not worthy!
So we just got off of this thing. Holy smokes, this ride is just insane. The amount of airtime that this thing gives in different parts. That stall right there. This ride is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't know exactly where it would sit in a top 10 list, but it's definitely there. There's just no way it can't be. This ride is phenomenal. Easily the best coaster in the state of Florida.
After the first ride, our group would go for a second round, which was highlighted by a bit of queue line karaoke.
Tell me why! Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why! Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why! I never want to hear you say I want it that way.
From that point, folks began to split off into smaller groups and head to different areas of the park. I spent a good chunk of the day with my good friend Andrew, who I hadn't seen since his wedding last year. We did a few favorite rides on the likes of the Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man, and after heading to the midday meetup, we took some time to enjoy some of the holiday festivities of the resort. There's a long-time annual Christmas tradition of the park that I somehow had missed the 3 years I lived in Florida. This was the first time I saw their Grinchmas show, a condensed version of the popular Dr. Seuss tale How the Grinch Stole Christmas, based on the live-action version with Jim Carrey, and featuring music from Mannheim Steamroller. It's a fun version of the story, and a nice way to spend some time waiting for the rain to pass. As we switched to the studio side, we found ourselves taking in a showing of Shrek 4D for the sake of nostalgia, since the attraction is closing soon. It's a bit dated, but it was a favorite from my first visit in 2004. It'll be interesting to see what Universal has up their sleeves for this spot in the future. Continuing the festiveness of the evening, we stopped by the Christmas Tribute Store, which featured a variety of holiday seasonal items, including special treats such as their cookie dough balls that Andrew and I couldn't pass on. They weren't just rich, they were Scrooge McDuck rich, but certainly made for a great sweet treat. As the night sky continued to darken, it was time for the holiday parade, which featured a wide array of street dancers and performers, as well as a number of popular characters from various DreamWorks creations. This particular parade is inspired by the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City, and thus features several large balloons that hover above the crowd. The finale of the parade, like its Big Apple inspiration, features a visit from the one and only Santa Claus. Here at Universal, though, he plays an important role in the continuation of the holiday magic for the night by helping to light the Christmas tree in the plaza. To wrap up the first day at Universal, Andrew and I met back up with the rest of the Buzz Bars back at VelociCoaster for a couple of night rides. Getting back on this thing, I loved it even more, as I had a chance to ride it near the back where the intensity of it kicked up another notch. Even though the day at Universal was over, there was still more stumbling to enjoy. Thank you for watching this Coasting with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.